Hi, guys. It's Veronica again, back at True Life Minutes. Um, I came on because I wanted to say something, and I find it crazy that these challenges, and I'm not talking about food challenges, but I'm talking about challenges like money challenges, like uh, buying groceries for $25 or $50, and they're interesting. One of the things that I've noticed that isn't touched is uh, the different places a person can be. So the intent for the challenge is to help, I guess, except it's not showing all, multiple possibilities. Here's what I mean by that. So if you're a single person, say you have $50 for the month, how it's not just that you have $50 and you're going to get the best things for $50. That's one step. So let me explain. You're single, you live in your own place, which is your space. You're not sharing it with anybody. You go to the store and you have to think about how to spend and make that $50 work. That's one version. The same person with $50, but they don't live alone. They're living in someone else's space. What does that look like? Because now that $50 for that month is spent has to be spent differently. Not just that you only have $50, but you can't buy all of the things that you would have in your own space because you're sharing a space now. So if you were meal prepping, you can't really meal prep and share a space with someone unless you both agree on that. So how are you gonna? What are you gonna have to buy with that $50 that'll fit in the space you have, as well as where you are? Third option, same person, same $50, and you are homeless. That becomes a whole different thing. How does a homeless person that does not have a shelter of their own have to spend and go through $50 versus someone who's got a roommate situation, or they're in a situation which is homeless but they have a shelter and have to spend $50 versus a college student in the dorm spending $50, or a single person in their own space spending $50. None of those look the same. And they just go through the challenge like, oh, it's, and then they have the ones where they do the SNAP benefit, ones where it's $50 for, I guess, a month or a week or whatever. That too is different because what isn't being stated is like, oh, you got SNAP, it's so easy and you don't have to pay taxes on it, and it's not, because now food items are being selected off of that list. So there are food items you can't buy. Most people know that you have to buy items that you prepare, that you can cook yourself. Or if it's cooked, it had to be pre cooked and then frozen or refrigerated before you could buy it. There are now other stipulations for that. You can't buy things that have like echinacea, just certain herbs in it now. They're breaking it down where you can't get this product because they put this in. So, for example, if I need to get something to like help with clearing in my throat, I'm trying to make sure I don't get ill, and I only have so much money. This is the only monies I have. Maybe that's the case. You go to the store and buy, you want to get something that has ginger and lemon and echinacea in the drink, which is a tea. You can't buy that because of the echinacea being in it. They're splitting hairs about what you can buy before you could because it's a food product. Yeah, that's not the case anymore. So now there's stipulations. So making it simpler, person has SNAP benefits, but they're single. again, it falls in that category I gave, the breakdown I gave earlier a few moments ago. Are they in their own place? Are they sharing a space? Or they're completely out homeless? Because what can be done with that $50 and you're a single individual living in your own space versus someone who's outside and they don't have a stove to cook things? Those purchases are different. So if you're going to talk about managing the money, and it's a challenge, how do I manage my money if I don't have a stove to cook on? How do I manage my money if I can't cook in the environment I am in? So, how do I make this $50 work for me? Whether it's cash money, you know, or it's SNAP. How do I make this work? Those are the things. And I might do a challenge, but I'm hoping, my mindset is in doing other stuff, helping with what it looks like for someone to go to this particular type of physician, and how do you, if you're told that you have this health challenge, how to get through the day to day. What are some of the resources that you can have, and what does those resources look like in real time if you got it? That kind of thing is what my focus is on. However, if I have to, I will. But I definitely, the challenges that I see are like, wow. And this might be a soapbox moment for me, but this is what I'm doing. I'm going. So I got $50, but I'm living in a space with someone else, and it's not my house. So it's not my house. So how do I do that with the $50? I would I would get a pound of this, a pound of that, a pound of that, or whatever. But since you're limited in space, how do you make that work? How do you make provisions for that? So what does that look like? That's my question. I guess the challenge for the challenge. Anyway, you guys have a great one, and be safe out there. Later.